We're heading out this fall to explore Seattle to see some of our favorite old places and some of our new places. It's an early morning at DIA before the sun rose. Kind of like Out Frontier's new outdoor boarding. All right, Seattle, here we come. Very early morning flight. Got my Dunkin' Donuts, so it's all gonna be all right. Midway through the flight, peeking out the window, you can see the sun gently rise over the horizon on this beautiful Pacific Northwest morning. We had a quick rental car at the airport, so we de-boarded the plane. And as we waited for the shuttle to the rental car facility, we had to bundle up because it was a little bit cool in Seattle. Pike Place Market directly to get some breakfast, walk around a little bit, and enjoy this Seattle classic. Early morning is definitely the time to go. This normally packed corridor was pretty empty. We enjoyed the sights around the market before we explored the good eats inside and around. Look at these Dungeness crabs. They look so good. Sea urchins. Oh, cool. Just whole sardines. Heading out of the market, we go to one of the girls' favorite place, the Crumpets place. They make crumpets on site fresh every day, all day, and they are absolutely delicious. You can choose savory crumpets, you can choose sweet crumpets, or you can just choose plain crumpets. Either way, you cannot lose. First, we fortified ourselves with some hot beverages. Of course, I chose a savory crumpet with salmon, cream cheese, and cucumbers. We explored even more of the market, had some pierogi, as well as stopping into the bun place next door and got some treats. Show it to me. Okay, what is that?
I think it's pineapple bread.
It's curry bread.
Or curry bread.
How's the sesame ball, Victoria?
Good.
Got red bean paste in it? How would you describe the flavor?
Red bean bread.
Red bean paste. Andre, what do you got there? You got curry bread?
Oh, we did.
How's it taste? After filling our bellies with breakfast, we headed to the Nordic Museum, a museum that celebrates the impact of Nordic culture both in the Seattle area but around the world. The museum, true to its name, is definitely a celebration of Nordic architecture with many areas of modern design, glass, metal, and of course beautiful, beautiful wood. Traveling exhibits was an exhibit of imaginary flowers. These digital flowers were projected on screens. There was also some glass. And the cool part is you could smell an imaginable smell for each of these flowers. Some were good, some were gross. And of course it wouldn't be a Nordic museum without a wooden troll outside. These things kind of freak me out. Besides Scandinavian influence, there's also a strong Asian influence on the Pacific Northwest, and we headed to our favorite Taiwanese soup dumpling place, Din Tai Fung, and of course had a giant serving after serving after serving of steaming hot soup dumplings. And as always, you kind of have to fight the girls off or they'll eat them all in one go. During this day, we rented a house out in the Green Lake area. Cute little old restored house turned into a couple Airbnbs. We drove around and headed out to a bakery north of Seattle to get our cinnamon rolls and coffee before we had today's adventure. All right, Andre, what are we doing?
We are getting on a car ferry to go to the Olympic Peninsula.
That was the best narration ever. I didn't even have to add anything. Good work. Alright, so we're on a multi-deck car ferry heading out to the Olympic Peninsula. You can see the ocean right there. I don't know. These car ferries are massive. Inside are small little cafes, plenty of indoor seating along with all of the car decks. And as you can see, being kind of fall late in the season, wasn't super crowded. Imagine these in high season. Car ferries always channel my inner 5-year-old, and of course I was out on the deck having fun, even though it's slightly windy. Look at the clipper going by here. So it's a little bit blustery out there, a bit of rain. My pants may be a little wet, but it was fun. Alright guys, say car ferry.
Car ferry.
Alright, we're getting off the ferry, heading to, I don't know where, somewhere on the Olympic Peninsula. Heading off the car ferry, we hit the Olympic Peninsula, making our way out to Port Angeles, hoping to find some good seafood as well as some scenery of the Olympic Mountains. Well, we got Pacific Northwest weather for sure, and while we thought about a picnic, we did decide to go out and get some seafood. So we enjoyed the rainy and somewhat overcast drive out on the peninsula, exploring bridges and various islands and seaside roads. Stopping to stretch our legs in Port Angeles, we did a little touristy stuff and found a restaurant that was serving some really good clam chowder. Being inspired by the clam chowder, I also decided to have some steamed clams, and man, they were delicious. Much we could get to in Olympic National Park, but we drove up to the gate and got some scenery. We did meet some wildlife and get some, Bob Ross-esque views of the mountains blanketed in clouds as well.
Oh dear.
I know which one you're slower, me or the deer. Clearly they're not particularly concerned with your shenanigans.
To Port Angeles, we drove out to a little jetty where there is a Coast Guard port, as well as, just some fun things to do and watch the waves and look at the mountains and play around in the nature by the seaside. So that's Canada right there. We were in for a long day and the early light didn't help, but we boarded the car ferry as the sun set and made our way back to a sleepy but well-lit Seattle by car ferry. The next morning we got up and we explored the Green Lake Park by walking around the whole lake. It was a beautiful, overcast but warm and slightly rainy fall day around the park, and had a great walk. It's like saying I'm in the United States, but I'm in New York City. After our walk, our host insisted that we go to Archie McPhee's, a really cool kind of novelty and gag shop. Had a lot of fun there. Well, went out and had some food, and then once again, heading back in the evening, we saw a beautiful lit up Seattle in our evening before we headed home early the next morning. With the few minutes we had at the airport, we grabbed some coffee before we boarded our plane. And of course, when we came home, we added our Archie McPhee treat to our collection.